Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to install some Alba Racing Nerf bars here on the 700R Raptor. So I'm going to show you what we got. I'm not doing an unboxing, but have everything laid out. We'll go step by step, get these Nerf bars on our Raptor here. So stick around and let's jump into it. All right guys, the tools that we're going to need to get the job done today, we're going to need a couple wrenches, 12 and a 13, a 5mm Allen wrench, a ratchet, torque wrench, a 12, 13, and 14mm socket, a pair of good channel locks like this to get that E-clip put back in place, flathead screwdriver to get the E-clip off, and some thread locker. We're going to need to torque our bolts back on our foot pegs at 56 foot-pounds, so that's why we're going to need the torque wrench. So that's everything we need to get started. All right, so these are the Pro Nerf bars from Alba Racing. I got the blue nets here. It comes with all your brackets that you're going to need. These are the silver finish, some hardware, an E-clip I think we're going to need again, and that's it. So let's get these on the Raptor. All right guys, so the first thing we're doing is going to get this foot peg off, this heel guard. There's a return spring here for your brake lever. I think that's for the switch for the brake light. We're going to want to go ahead and pull that off. There's also an E-clip here on the back side that we're going to get with the screwdriver. But for your main bolt here, that's going to be a 14. And then I believe the top here is a 12. So let's go ahead and get those loosened up. And I'm going to cheat a little bit. We're just going to knock this off with an impact real quick. And you're going to want to hang on to these bolts because I believe in the instructions that we are going to have to reuse these. All right, so we got those bolts taken out. Let's go ahead and, I believe there's one more bolt down here on the bottom that we're gonna have to get. So we'll get that knocked off. I believe it's a 14 as well. And I'm just gonna hit them with my ratchet here. Yep, it's a 14. And they do have some thread locker on them, so you're gonna have to use a little effort. And we will cheat again here since I got it started. So the next thing we want to do is I'm gonna pull you guys over here and show you here. If you look here on the back side here, we have an E-clip we're gonna snap off with a screwdriver. I'll get that here in a second. All right, the next thing we want to take off is this lower motor mount bolt here. So we're just gonna go ahead and loosen it up, get that taken off. Just give it a couple bumps there. And then we'll pull it the rest of the way out. And again, it does feel like there's Loctite on these, so we will go ahead, get this the rest of the way out, and we're going to repeat this process on the other side, with the exception we don't have to deal with the E-clip on the brake lever. All right, so now we're going to put our brackets here, and I'm going to do the foot brake side first. And as you're sitting on the quad, the right side is the brake side, the left side would be the gear side. And on the brackets, and this is going to be for the rear, you'll notice there's an R and an L, and that signifies what side it goes on. And if we look at this particular bracket here that's going on the right side, it has a slot that's going to use the included E-clip, and that's what's going to hold our brake lever on. And just a quick note, it is a little bit thicker than the factory E-clip. The factory E-clip looks like it also has a washer in there as a spacer. So we're going to see if we actually need that when we install it. But basically, we're going to use our existing factory bolts, put this through our brake bracket, and then snug everything up, use some Loctite. And I'll double check the specs, but I think they're 56 foot-pounds, but we'll double check, hook our springs up. And then we'll move on to our front bracket here. That's gonna go in with the bolt that we took out of the motor mount. All right, so got our bracket all set up here. We are going to use the spacer washer on the backside, but went ahead and rubbed some grease in the grease groove there, and we're going to slide this into the brake lever and then put the E-clip on, and then we're going to start bolting it forward. All right, so we're going to reuse our factory bolts that we took out in these two holes here, and then I'm also going to put some blue Loctite on there, and we are going to torque these down to 56 foot-pounds according to Alba's instructions. So I'm going to get these lubed up with some blue thread locker. We'll get them torqued down, and then we'll move on to the front bracket. All right, get these set with our torque wrench here. All right, now let's move on to the front bracket. So now we're going to mount the front bracket for the Nerf bars. So we're not going to tighten this up, but I am going to go ahead, apply a small amount of Loctite to the fastener, and then we will go ahead, and this one has a nut on the back. You're going to have to reach around here, get it into position, and then we're going to go ahead and just hand tighten this right now. We're not going to get it super tight, but we are going to get it started so we can basically, we'll mount the Nerf bar, and then we'll come back and tighten this fastener up here. So let's get the bar put on. All right, so now we're just going to slide the bars in place, just like so, into the bracket shaft there. And the same on the front. That's why we left this loose, so we can get it in position and slide it forward. Now we're going to take the bolt and fastener that come in the kit to lock it down onto this peg, and then we'll come up here and tighten up the fastener up here on the lower engine mount. All right, now that we have everything snugged up, we're going to be putting on our nets, and they're pretty simple. There's 3 slots here. We're going to go through the top, come out the bottom slot, and then come up through the middle, and then pull it back into the top slot, like so. So I'm just kind of getting these just loose for right now. I'm going to work my way around, get the nets finished up, and then we're going to repeat this same process for both the right side and the left side, and we're pretty much got this thing wrapped up. Okay, there is finished install. Jump over here to the other side of the bike so you guys can see it. But I'm very happy the way they turned out. All right, guys, so there is the install of the Alba Racing Pro Peg Nerf bars. These are the silver finish, and I gotta say the finish looks pretty wicked. It almost matches the frame, but not quite, but it looks really good. As you can see on the Raptor, I've already made a couple changes to it. I've got the Pro Taper 7/8 Raptor bend bars, the Odi, I don't know how you pronounce it exactly, the Rogue grips, and those are very nice because they just lock down with some set screws, and you don't have to worry about glue and things like that. But back to the Nerf bars, a couple install things that I want to bring up is on the right side, the brake lever where it slides through the bracket provided by Alba Racing. The powder coat on there is a little thick, and what I found was the brake lever was kind of binding up a little bit. It wasn't returning back with the spring on the back side there very well. So I took just some fine sandpaper, knocked down that powder coating a little bit, made sure I got some good grease in there, and it works perfectly. So, you know, sometimes with this aftermarket stuff, you expect to have maybe a little bit of hand working and things like that, or field fit, if you will. But nothing major. I kind of expected that with the powder coating. The left side fit great, no problems whatsoever. But overall, very easy install, and I think it looks good, and it's going to help protect the machine, especially if you ride these in the woods. Not a bad upgrade to think about. So in the next couple other videos that we got coming forward on the Raptor, I am going to put the wide grab bar from Alba Racing on the rear, and then the front bumper in the next video. So this is kind of just a build series of this machine for a woods machine for us. But if you guys have any questions, hit me up on my email, squatchreloading@gmail.com. You can still find us on Facebook as well, Squatch Reloading. But if you guys like these videos, if you want to see how the Raptor turns out, you want to see the X3 get dirty again, or if you're here for reloading, we got more reloading content on the way as well. I believe there's a video dropping on the 223 setup, tool head change on the XL750. It's either going to come before or after this one. I'm not sure how my queue is in YouTube right now, but I appreciate you guys so much. If you would hit that subscribe button right now, hit the likes, hit the bell for notification. Those all help us out with the YouTube algorithm. But that is going to wrap this one up. So until next time.